angels, it's Hailey Reese and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so beyond grateful that you are here, and I really do hope, as always, that you're having an absolutely incredible morning, afternoon, or night, whatever it is for you when this video finally reaches you. Today's video is one that I have went back and forth with myself a number of times as to whether or not this was something that I wanted to sit down and talk about, if it was something that I wanted to bring light to or shine light on, and just overall, if it was even worth it to share, as I know this sounds absolutely crazy. But as things continued and continued to progress, not just online and in these messages I'm about to share with you, but in my own life and the way that it was all tying together and correlating, it was far too eerie not to share. And beyond that, it's far too eerie not to explore. And if I'm going to explore it all and investigate it, I feel like I need to share it with you guys. So here we are, I'm sitting down, I'm going to share this with you guys to the best that I can, and what I mean by that is I'm going to try to tell it in the least all over the place way. I've gotten a couple of comments lately being like, get to the point, Hailey, you talk way too much. So noted, I apologize for that. But with all that being said, let's get into this experience, because I don't know whether to call it some sort of stalking, spiritual stalking, haunting, what it is, but it's really, really, really creepy. And I just want to know what you guys think of it all. Okay, so I've been posting here on YouTube since 2017, and when I say that out loud, I can't even believe how long I've been sharing my life online with you guys. But despite having started my channel in 2017, when I started my channel, I opened up my whole world and my whole life to you guys. I shared my family, I share my family, my Grams and I talked all about my childhood and how crazy and beautiful and amazing it was. Truly, I was so grateful to have had the experiences that I had, and even more grateful that my grandma was able to come on here on my channel while she was still alive and share them with you guys. But in sharing so much of my childhood and my life and my family, I've gotten some really, really strange and at times really unsettling and creepy emails, comments, messages, DMs, everything that comes with the territory of being someone who's completely online. I've had to almost learn over the years how to differentiate certain comments, certain DMs, and ask myself, okay, is this person just trying to scare me or make content out of it? Is this person trying to troll me or get my attention or get a response out of me? Or are they genuinely sharing a concern, a thought, a premonition, whatever the case may be with me? And what does it mean? Now, I love nothing more than getting comments from you guys and DMs from you. I know so many people online will say, like, I love reading your comments, or I love going through your messages, but truly, it is such a big part of my life, just connecting with you guys and learning more about each and every one of you. It's been really, really incredible. And I'm somebody who takes note of things, and I have a very, very good memory for the most part. The reason I mention this is because I'm able to figure out who certain people are in comments. I notice the names that comment a lot and the people that I've gotten to know or have met out in public, etc. And I just love getting to know all of you guys. And even if I don't know your specific name, I'll get to know you by the name that you comment with or the type of comments that you leave. I'll be like, oh, there's so-and-so again. So when I received a really, really long comment, this one stood out to me for a number of reasons. Now, the comment was already worded in a really strange way. I can't even fully explain it to you because I don't have the initial comment in front of me, but it was worded in this poetic way, but also as if there could be multiple meanings to one sentence, if that makes sense. And all throughout it, it's talking about how they have a gift, they can see spirits through the TV, through the screen, through their phone, and that it doesn't shut off for them ever. The first half of the message is just talking about how they're able to talk to spirits 24/7. And of course, I wholeheartedly believe in things like that. So like I said, the first half of it was more so about their journey and their journey with the paranormal and the world of ghosts. But again, it was written in a way that was almost as though you were supposed to decode it. And that's the first thing that really stood out to me. But as I continued reading the comment, it shifts from more of like their personal experience and into what they're being shown with me. They start saying that there's these spirits that are around Tyler and I that really, really want to communicate with us. And even in the comment, they were saying something like, maybe you've noticed some strange activity, or maybe you've noticed an increase in activity, but it's just these spirits that have something really, really important to tell you. And I'm continuing to read the comment and I'm thinking like, yeah, activity has picked up for us, but it always does in October. I'm filming a new spooky video every single day. Beyond that, I'm traveling to some of the most haunted locations and communicating with those spirits. And overall, that's really just where my headspace is. So it tends to attract a lot more spirit activity. That part wasn't too unusual for me. But it continues on to say a couple of things that stood out to me where I was like, hold on, did I mention these things in recent videos? And as I went back to check, I hadn't. The comment keeps referencing that my little friends want to talk, that it's really, really important, and that this individual can't properly watch my videos because in the background, there's these little friends that are communicating with her to get her to communicate with me. And I found this to be a little bit odd, only because in my almost 30 years, in my 29 years of life, spirits on the other side have had no problem making their presence known in my life. I have had so many paranormal experiences, you guys know this, and even in situations where I don't physically see things or hear things, it always comes to me in one way or another, usually being my dreams if it's not manifesting or showing in my day-to-day life. So I found it a little bit weird that I wouldn't be noticing a massive increase in spirit activity or a massive increase in paranormal activity, just the usual amping up around this time of year. I think I liked the comment, or maybe responded to the comment saying like, this is crazy, like thank you for sharing it with me. In the days that followed though, on various videos, I would start getting really strange comments from what I could only assume was the same person, as they mentioned the same type of thing, that these little friends are trying to talk to me. The comments over the days though just got increasingly stranger and stranger, like little things that they were telling her or ways that they were getting more and more on edge in wanting to communicate and get their story told. And in one particular comment, they'd actually said something along the lines of that the spirit was frustrated that I haven't been using my spirit box as often, because that's how they'd like to communicate. And I found this comment interesting because I started to wonder, okay, is this maybe somebody who misses when I would go out on, paranormal investigations and use my spirit box a lot more? I'm thinking this to myself, thinking maybe they're trying to get me to pull out the spirit box because now I'm intrigued too. I want to know what it is and why they want to communicate with me. So I just responded saying like, spirit box videos coming soon, because 100% they are. We're heading out, we're heading to haunted locations, going on these investigations. And so I just responded something like that. All the while that this is happening, those strange things are occurring on a day-to-day basis, like things moving when they shouldn't be moving. I mean, pretty normal standard things that you'll hear about in little hauntings, harmless hauntings. They were happening to us. And again, though, I just keep thinking to myself, that time of year, this always tends to happen. It's not even particularly in October, just any time that day in, day out, I'm living and breathing this stuff, things tend to start happening. But I am noticing throughout the days, like, hey, yeah, this is getting a little bit interesting. So here's where things get so creepy, you guys. I've told you guys before that my mom lives kind of out in the country. And so obviously on the ride to her house, there's a lot of farmland, there's a lot of cornfields, just your typical farm drive. The one day that Tyler and I are driving, we pass by this one particular cornfield, and I remember looking over and out the window and thinking that I saw a really out of place child by the cornfield. Now, the reason that I thought about this and it was so significant in my mind was because, one, it was pretty rare to see a little girl just playing by the cornfield like that, just kind of staring towards the road. But two, it just seemed super out of place and odd. I remember almost making a note about it to Tyler, thinking like children of the corn stuff. And then as I looked back, there was no child there. And I thought perhaps that like I'd just seen something or the kid had like ran off somewhere else. It's not unusual to see kids all running around out in country areas, but it was just unusual, the placement of the kid and the fact that it seemed as though the child was alone. Again, we continue on our ride and I don't think anything of it. Until a little bit later, I get a comment from what I can only assume is this same person, and they're detailing pretty much the same stuff about them wanting to communicate. The little friends are getting more and more eager, and then it mentions that they told her I'd seen one of their little friends. And as I'm reading this, I'm thinking to myself, what does that mean? And as I continue down, it says something along the lines of seeing the little girl by the corn. And now I'm just creeped out because I'm thinking to myself, I didn't tell anybody this. Tyler wouldn't have told anybody this. There was nothing unusual about it other than thinking like, oof, like that's a little bit of an odd spot for a kid to be playing. But there was nothing scary about it. Nothing else happened surrounding it. It really was just like a normal, odd occurrence. And yet, what would be the chances that this individual who's been commenting on all my stuff is now stating something about a little girl by the corn and saying that these little friends said it was their little friend? Like, what? So now at this point, I'm actually a little bit freaked out, not just because of the paranormal aspect of it all, but thinking like, how does this person know these things? Like the couple of things right from the beginning that I was like, I don't think I've shared that yet. Moving into like just like some strange things about haunting stuff and days where like it really was a strange day here. They're like, oh, the activity is amping up. And I'm thinking it's coincidence. But now there's a situation of the little girl by the corn. And I'm like, hold on. That is oddly specific for it to be right after that. Like that's really, really weird. And at this point, now they've really got my attention. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, what little friends? And what is it that they want to say? And why spirit boxes? So you would think that would be it, right? You would think that's eerie, that's creepy. Oof, that's odd, Hailey. Nope, it gets even weirder, you guys. And it gets even creepier. Okay, so it's October, obviously. Like I just said, we're going to a lot of haunted locations. And I decide, you know what? If there's this much going on already, I want to further my communication and my investigation into these hauntings. I want to go back by that cornfield. I want to go to certain places and I want to get to the bottom of what's going on. There's actually a couple of spirits that Tyler and I have been meaning to go visit. One being a little girl named Scarlett that he had visited, who had asked specifically for me to come back with him. There's a lot that we've been wanting to do. And so now my brain's really going and I'm thinking, let's order even more ghost hunting equipment. You guys know I have so much stuff, but I thought, you know what? Let's get a couple more things that we can really, really ensure that if something wants to communicate, if there is a story to be told, we have all the means and even more than we would need to communicate with spirits. I end up placing an order for a whole bunch more of ghost hunting equipment, things to add to the collection, just a whole lot of stuff that I was really looking forward to. And again, I told nobody about this, okay? Tyler knew, obviously, because he was here when I placed the order, but it wasn't something that I talked about online. I didn't tell anyone. In fact, I had no intentions of even sharing about the new equipment until it was in an investigative video, just showing you all the new stuff in real time. And so I placed the order and it's on its way. And I upload a video not too long after, and there's this long comment about these spirits and how excited they are, but how anxious they are to tell their story, how important it is. And at the bottom of the comment, it says, they're happy that you're taking the steps to talk to them more. They look forward to the new stuff. You guys, if this is a coincidence, it is the eeriest coincidence I've ever been a part of. It does not make sense to me how this person is knowing these things unless they truly are talking to some little friends that really want to talk via these new spirit boxes, via the new equipment. But now I'm here wondering, what's the story and why have I not personally had more of a connection to them if they're so connected to me? And what I mean by this is my dreams have been normal. The activity that I've experienced is nothing alarming. It's pretty standard stuff. So what is happening here, and who is this person, and how do they know all this stuff? It's even eerier because besides screenshots that I started taking afterwards, when I go back to find like the initial comments, it's hard for me to even start locating them because there's so many comments, and these are only coming through on my actual YouTube video comments. I haven't received any DMs about it yet or any messages anywhere else online, just on videos, but they're getting so much more specific with each and every comment that I'm getting. And the fact that it's tying in with the stuff I'm doing on a daily basis, like I actually did see a little girl by the corn. And the only thing that was weird about it to me was that I thought, why is she by herself by the cornfield? But there was a farm not too far by. And at the end of the day, like I said, farm kids are always out playing. They're always on their bikes. They're always doing things outside. So as much as it was weird, it wasn't that weird. And again, I guess people could be assuming that I'm ordering new equipment, but I've had so much of my stuff for so many years. There was really no need for me to buy anything more. So the fact that it was right when I had purchased it that I received that comment not long after, that's just eerie to me. And it gets even a little bit freakier because when I went to my mom's to do some crafts with the kiddos, my little brother at one point was saying that he had seen someone in the field that wanted to say hi to me. And when I pressed him more about it, it just seemed like a silly story. He couldn't really say much more about it. I was like, what do you mean? Who? And he was like, I don't know. And he was joking around. So whether that was another coincidence too, I don't know. Well, you guys, that is basically it for the video so far. I will keep you guys posted, to be continued, so to speak. Again, let me know what you guys think down below, but that is it for today's video. If you guys are new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed but you want to know what happens next, make sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications, or just check back every single day as I am uploading a new video every single day. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness, and until tomorrow, I love you. Bye, guys.